All right, folks, welcome back. We're at the very start of the classical where we're playing as the Garamantes, or Garamantes. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it entirely. Now, we did end up in a bit of an awkward situation at the start, with the Babylonians kind of being hemmed in, slow start, low population growth, all that kind of stuff. And as a result, we didn't really get our first choice of classical era cultures. So here we are as the Garamantes, and I actually think it'll be fine for us, right? Like, there are plenty of locations where we can put this emblematic district where we're going to get a fair bit of value out of it. And I'm actually going to start queuing that up right now. Now, one thing I forgot about this when talking about it in the last episode is, so it gets extra food for kind of adjacent, like stony fields and rocky fields and all that kind of stuff. But it also counts as just a regular agriculture quarter, which means if you just put it in an area with a large amount of food, you'll generate a large amount of food, and you can put them anywhere. So in that sense, it's going to work out just fine for me because I am low in the food department. Okay, they are going to have high ground here, but I do need to take this army out. Put my archers in the back. Okay, the scout rider right here is the weak spot in their defense. Move that guy there. Move this guy up. Rear attack. Rear attack. There we go. And this fortress is my own, right? So I'm going to get some combat strength from that district, from that Cyclopean fortress right there. So this should be a pretty easy battle. All right. Simple. So I just moved a new guy there. I wanted to make sure the other one survived. But I moved a new guy there so I can move another one up to the next tile, because then you can move through zones of control like that. Also, if you didn't notice, the way you get war score has changed a little bit. So it's based on like the size of the battle and all that kind of stuff. Okay, go ahead and attack Babylon, hopefully. Okay, they do have one phalanx, one hoplite. But I think I can deal with one, right? It's better to deal with one than to deal with a whole bunch of them. Do you have two archers? So we'll focus the hoplite with the archers. That makes the most sense. And because of this district, I get some combat strength when I'm adjacent to it. So I'm going to focus on just attacking from here because I have some like high ground advantages and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to pull that guy out because that's a river right there. I don't really want to be on that tile. So I'm going to focus all my combat power kind of on this one tile. Okay, we'll actually get in the city there. Then I can start hitting... Oh, I should have attacked the archers. My mistake. Okay, we'll let the AI think for a second there. And there's a lot of stuff that we need. A lot of stuff that we need. Let's start with the basics. Let's go for standing army, and then we'll see where we're at with this with this conflict. Okay, let's get a new guy in there. You've absorbed plenty of damage for me already. Kill that archer. Go ahead and make that attack. Distribute my damage a little bit. They really want to kill this archer, which makes sense. But this is why I put that fortress there in the last episode, is to benefit from that combat strength. Hopefully we can kill this archer with our own, just like that. Okay, start moving people into the city here. Okay, so I can take that guy out. Would hopefully be able to kill both of these guys. And then I'll capture the city on this turn, would be ideal. See if they suicide. They do. Okay, so there's Babylon. And they're building the statue of Zeus. Okay, so war resolution. No. Forced surrender. I want all your stuff, my man. Okay, so obviously we want to take all the Babylon stuff, right? Like, that's important. Won't quite be able to take that territory, but taking those 2 cities is more than enough. Babylon's their main city. Kiss is just irrelevant. It's just a little rump, really. There we go. So that puts us in a much, much better position for the rest of this game. Let's get flood irrigation in here. They're pretty low stability, if I'm being honest. Sphigaras will come in handy. We'll also want the public fountain. Okay, I'm going to keep some units up here just to keep Babylon contained. And actually, we should be looking at grabbing this territory here. That looks fine. We can finally kind of explore up over that way. When to disband both of these scouts, I don't really have any need for them anymore. Knowledge authorities. We'll go for the +1 science per researcher. I think that +2 faith on territories is actually going to be a little bit useful for me here, considering the advance of Christianity. Greeks, sure, we can trade luxuries for now. I'll buy your salt even. Silver, don't really have that much where I'll benefit from it. Buy the incense too. A little bit of extra gold, never hurt anybody. Let's go on export policy in Sapar. And, oh wow, they have quite a few market quarters in here. It's a little surprising, honestly. Okay, we'll just work on the animal barns for now, and then we'll revisit that once the stability's recovered a bit. Get a lot of industry from the forge. I'm going to go ahead and just buy that. Okay, let's move some people off industry. I'm going to prioritize science. I'm getting a lot of industry just from my districts right now. So I'm going to move them all onto science so we start getting down the tech tree a lot faster. I think that's going to be pretty important here. Oh wow, double adjacent astronomy houses. So I'll get an extra 6 science from the Figara there, which is nice. And on Babylon, I'm also going to prioritize science, I think, because I'm getting +3 from the astronomy houses that the Babylonians so kindly built for me. Probably want to get down here and claim this territory too. All right. The existing spot is fine. Go ahead and just influence purchase a harbor. Not the best harbor we've ever seen, but maybe if we like take Kiss or something, it'll end up being useful. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep working on the Figaras for now, and then maybe turn to the statue of Zeus. Okay, standing army. Let's get these guys upgraded. So when you upgrade a unit, it does heal them. So there's no reason to heal and upgrade, just upgrade it. Okay, leadership. I can get the +1 city cap. Definitely going to need that. I have 27 influence per turn right now, which is terrible. Really, really awful. Okay. High ground advantage cancels out being on a river there. So we'll go ahead and take that attack. Should have moved him up there first. There we go. Whenever you have the opportunity to just farm units like that, you can do it just for the militarist stars. Good habit to be in. Okay, let's go ahead and attach here because we do need some more territory on this city. And let's go for philosophy and then hydrology, kind of the core tax, really. Okay, this territory is not really worth claiming at the moment, so there's nothing that I particularly need in there.
Debate and
I really need that civic giving me the city cap. Okay, the philosophy gave me city cap, so my the reason I was so low on influence per turn is because I was 2 cities over, and I didn't have the influence to support that. So getting the philosophy tech, which I should have noticed that or noted this earlier, right, is one of the reasons I got it before hydrology, is that it gives you the extra city cap to help you recover your influence. So I apologize that I didn't state that as I was doing it. It's more after the fact. Okay. We'll need the public fountain in here. We'll work on that. Stability is still recovering. Does this count as a garrison now? Because I haven't built any regular garrisons, and you shouldn't be able to build the city watch unless you have a garrison. Interesting. Okay. Because some of the emblematic districts do not count as garrisons, even though they clearly are. Okay. Let's get that +1 city cap. That'll also increase my influence output a little bit on my emblematic districts. All right. Let's start upgrading these guys. We do want the most recent technology available. I'm going to go ahead and farm these units here. This is kind of a recovery era for me. Because I was really struggling in that first era, so I need to take some time here to, build up and make sure like all my core infrastructure and city stuff is online. Okay. I do think some conflict is semi-likely, so I'm going to go ahead and grab mounted warfare. And we're going to go into rhetoric for the extra influence and science that it can provide. Now, I think that's a Fagara I'm building there. Could replace that later, I suppose. But I think for now I can just build science quarters around it. Though, I suppose I can just kind of make this a city that builds things, right? And really just turn Babylon into my main sort of science city. That's a lot of food from artificial reservoirs. And how do they not have that infrastructure yet? I'm going to get these first. I'm already growing pretty quickly. So I'm going to get the stuff that improves my science first. Gnosis I might use for merchant quarters. Or Gnosis, whichever it is. Yeah, we'll go ahead and claim that territory there. We'll give a grievance to blue here. But I still don't really want to fight at the moment. The Morian War Elephant things are pretty powerful, the Samnahaya. You know, being ranged elephant units this early in the game, they're pretty dangerous. Whoops, not there. Right there. There we go. Make sure we're getting our emblematic districts. I don't really care about +3 food. I think +3 science is probably better than +3 food. So we'll go ahead and put that adjacent to the astronomy house. So I think Sipar and Babylon, because they have at least one astronomy house in them each, I turn those into my science cities, right? That makes the most sense to me. I'm going to be very late to the Faith game this time around, which is fine. It happens. Let's get those artificial reservoirs, and then we can work on the statue of Zeus, which will help with stability in Babylon. We can get a couple other places working on it too. Go ahead and buy that Fagara out, and then you can also work on the statue. Okay, so this is a new event. Don't know what these do. 17 industry, that would be nice. Patriotic, I don't have any, and 200 gold loss. I don't have any units that I need to build at the moment. So let's go for fuel, see what that does. So it seems like it'll trigger some other events. Whoops. That's annoying. Too bad I didn't have access to some of this territory, as the Mycenaeans. Some more Cyclopean fortresses would have been pretty good here. I suppose I could have gone up, like I could have prestiged, if you want to call it that. But I decided not to do that. What, are they just not going to attack me? Okay, that's fine. I don't really want to fight them, to be honest. Okay. So I could go to the next era already if I wanted to. I think I have a ways to go before I'm ready to do that. Quite a few stars left to get. Honestly, the extra faith might be nice. Is it just on this one city? Yeah, it's just, so I don't have any faith districts in Mycenae, so it doesn't matter. Don't need the stability. Let's go for overproductive. That'll help me get the statue out a little bit faster, hopefully. I I love when I can claim wonders like this, because you get the fame for building them and you get the benefit of the wonder. So it's really a win-win. Now, obviously, you do have to use the production to get it, which you don't if you just straight up capture the wonder. But still, I will take it. Oh yeah, we definitely want to go for learning. Give me more science output, please. Stash this outpost in a little crevice there. Seems good. And we'll probably claim this territory at some point as well. Now over here, we'll want to get this attached. And something I can do, actually. Set this one. No, which one? This one. I'm gonna cancel the create outpost cost, and then we'll get the reduced absorb city and attach cost at a future date once I can afford it. Like right now. There we go. What's this? New swordsman? Okay. Someone's taking the Umayyads. The blue player. Okay. We're going to have to deal with blue. And they're aggressive towards me. Okay. It's time to start posturing to deal with blue. Let's make sure we have fortifications just in case we need them. We're going to need craftsmanship for that extra industry. A lot of things we need. Did I not? Oh, okay. I was like, why can't I build Javelin Riders? I just did not see them in the queue for some reason. Yeah. Let's get the forge. And then, honestly, we're just going to grab a full army of these damn things. Do I have 5 slots yet? No, I don't. I haven't played with them, but I have fought against them before, and I've got to be honest, they are pretty damn annoying. I'm gonna kind of rely on these Javelin Riders to carry me a little bit. Now, my ideal situation is actually that blue declares war on me, because I don't have any way to generate... Let me deal with that in a second. I don't have any ways to generate grievances against them at the moment. So I'd have to surprise war them, and that's not really ideal. For a variety of reasons. So A, I'd start with fairly low war support, but also my war support drain could possibly be an issue. I cannot afford to lose 500 gold right now. So I'm going to go with honor here. 250 I can deal with in the short term. I'll recover that in a few turns. So you start to take a ticking stability penalty if your stability is too low. -1 pop, that's fine. Should get a school in here as well. Okay. 27 industry from that, that's very nice. Put that in there. I'm gonna kind of stack my units in this area here. Thankfully, I do have a pretty sizable army. Since I just did play the Mycenaeans, that makes sense. I'm gonna get 2 armies of Javelin Riders, I think. Look at that. These things are so cheap. Part of it is that I have that discount, right, from being the Mycenaeans. I have the legacy trait that reduces my unit industry cost. I have a lot of stuff I need to build in Knossos. I have to prioritize some stuff here in a second. I think I'm okay with where I'm at for now. I should be building those on there, because otherwise I have to move through all these rivers and stuff. Wait a turn. You can stay there. You all can come up here. And we'll go for conquest into imperial power, because then we can go into feudalism right at the start of the next era. How are my stars looking? Yeah, so going to be hard pressed to get many merchant stars this game, which is fine. I'll have lower fame than I might otherwise, but what are you going to do? Let's give these guys a little test. I don't know if they can like throw over each other, so I'm going to test that out. They can. And then they can move one square back after they've shot. Okay. They're pretty annoying to fight against, honestly, if you haven't fought against them. Because that, the whole, like, oh no, don't do this to me. Sometimes the game hangs up when you give a unit an order like this, and you're unable to resolve the combat, and you just have to reload the autosave from the start of the turn. Okay, it worked. Thankfully. Whew! I hate having to reload the autosave. It's really annoying. Yeah, I'm down to 18 gold per turn. Which is an issue. I will not deny. 30 food from that. Don't think I need the food at the moment. Let's get everyone. Let's make sure we're prioritizing industry here, because we do need industry. And we need more worker slots, honestly, but okay, I'm going to attach that. It's pretty expensive in terms of influence. But I do want to start getting some market quarters kind of in here, because I do need a way to generate some money to support my insanely massive military. This is like AI levels of military, honestly, at this point in the game. But you do what you got to do, right? I do think that with changes to the AI, to some extent, it necessitates being even more aggressive than you were previously. This is going to be a hard city to attack because of all the river. Good thing I have so many units. Oh, we'll send this guy down this way. Byzantines have been taken, okay. Probably get at least one aesthete star. I would like to get the growth stars as well, obviously, since they're my primary ones. Y'all can just camp out. Okay, they broke a treaty, which is going to give me a little more war support. And Don't have a ton of pop in Mikane. Could start like getting some market quarters kind of up here. I think it makes sense to like attach this at some point and kind of fill this area out with market quarters. Let's just attach it right now, honestly. It'll let me get a little bit more food. We will need some more stability in here. But I'm not going to prioritize the stability, honestly. It would be nice to keep generating that extra influence from the population, but it's not strictly necessary. Do I really not have copper? Jeez. I'm gonna have to, let's see. I'm gonna renounce that. And let's see if they'll, can't do that quite yet. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to deal with this city right now because I need all my units over here. Ooh. That is a very good opportunity for me because I can attack them without them being shielded by their other units. So if I'm gonna declare war, okay, they declare war on me. Oh, you're in trouble now. All right, I'm gonna just make sure melee units are at the front. We'll have, well, actually, we'll probably need this sword to like come reinforce the front line here. Oh man, and I can get up onto the high ground. Oh boy. Where is their elephant? Oh, they have crossbows now. That sucks. Gotta focus those. Okay, and the thing about the high ground up here as well is that I can take advantage of the Cyclopean Fortress, right? Which is going to give me bonuses to my combat strength. So I was very excited about that high ground. Man, and pikemen too. This is going to be tough. Thankfully, I have a lot of missile units. Okay, let's bring this guy in first. I think I have an archer in here. I can't tell which regiment this is. It's that one. Bring him back here. Don't really want to be on the river, but I think I need to. Okay, he fired already. He did too. And focus on those crossbows. Crossbows are priority number one. They're the most dangerous unit on the battlefield by far, because they can really do a ton of damage being an air ahead of me in tech. Don't think I want to attack into them though. I should be able to take them out with just my ranged units. Okay. So I am going to lose an attack from one of these guys, but the reason I want to do that is I'm going to attack with this, and then use this skirmish ability to back up one, which is going to allow me to get another unit there and get 2 attacks from the high ground. Let's move the swordsman out of the way here. There we go. No more crossbows. So just trying to cycle all these units in a way that I can get as many ranged attacks as possible. Let me go ahead and get in the city there. And I think I just keep holding this position for this round. Let them attack into me. Because remember, they have the tech advantage at the moment. And they are the Umayyads, so they can perhaps start getting early modern units at some point. Hopefully not anytime soon, because that would be really awful for me. Okay, pikemen are the target here. Actually, should have kept an extra unit up here. Take a risk there. Yeah, didn't quite get it. We'll attack with that one, then we can move that guy up because he has higher combat strength. And then hopefully knock these swordsmen out. Okay. Oh, we'll move one of these guys up, I suppose. There we go. Alright, very nice. And now I can just go ahead and attack the city. It still has levies, interestingly. You don't need to be there. So we'll attack from here because this is not on a river, and just cycle the units out. Very similar to using the Gajnal from the, God, what's their name? The Mughals. There we go. Should be looking pretty good here. Yeah, they do have reinforcements. Okay. That's annoying. But I do have their flag already. So unless they can push that, they're still going to lose. Okay, let's get the shots from these guys. Let's push you forward one, move you up here, cycle you back. I want to get the shots onto the crossbows from these guys while line of sight is unobstructed. And then I can move my swords forward to finish them off, just like that. Okay, you fired. Trying to see who all has actually shot something. Okay, everyone except this guy, I think. Yeah. Go ahead and take those horsemen out. No reason to keep them alive. We'll try to kill as many units as possible here. Move you back. Make sure this guy's protected. Yeah, we'll just kill the levies in one shot there. Kind of cycle again, make sure that I'm shooting from the best train possible. Pikemen have the highest combat strength here, not really worried about the swordsmen. So it can get a rear attack, and a rear attack there. Then we'll just let these swords do whatever they want, I don't really care. Do I not? Oh, I thought I had the flag captured. I was not paying attention. For some reason I thought the flag was right here. Oh well. Should be a pretty easy cleanup. There we go. All right. So, oh, the Greeks declared war on me. Okay. Well, I suppose I'll need a front line for those units. Oh man, I'm really going to be taking a hit to my money here. Make sure we have at least a unit in here. I'm really struggling on industry in this city. That seems fine. Scientific facts. I don't need to worry about that quite yet. I don't really have anything worth noting as far as holy sites go. Do I need to send one of these armies back to deal with the Greeks? It's a possibility. Okay, I should have been spawning units right here. I always forget to change unit spawn location. Okay. Give everyone the chance to regen a little bit of health. I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really pay for things at the moment. I think I should be fine bringing just this one guy back. Go for siege tactics and see where we're at with Aerostars. Realistically, do I get more stars than I already have? Need 7 more districts here. Yeah, I don't know if I grow that much either. Like, I just don't have enough food for that. Okay, I've already got production in that. Okay, let's get some production in that, and then like next turn we'll think about going up into the next era. Mississippians are available. I don't think I have enough river to justify that. Well, I guess down here I have quite a bit. Though we can talk about some of these cultures in a second here, some of the new ones. Hey, I finally can get the tier 1 of Tenet. Be Virtuous's water is good. I like it a lot. I think Hunt Infidels is actually probably better now than it was. Could go Respect Seize Bounties. I mean, it'll only really affect Mycenae. Okay, that many hoplites will probably be a little annoying to deal with. Okay, can produce that in 1 turn. Very nice. All right. Actually, I think we'll be fine with the armies we have over there. All right, let's talk about tenets. So Hunt the Infidels, I think, is a little more useful now because there's a lot more variation in war support based on the size of the battles and all that. But I think Be Virtuous as Water is going to be good for me here. I have a lot of river, and I think in the next era, Okay, so I'm rethinking. Because I am really good on stability, so I don't think I need be Virtuous as Water. And I don't think I'm going to grow fast enough that that's a problem. However, I do have a lot of mountains, and honestly, like, my influence output isn't that great. But I am working a lot of mountains. Do you have a lot of forest? Not really. I'm going to go for Shelter of the True Oracles and get that +1 influence on mountain. It's like, look at this. Now I've got, a whole bunch of extra influence from these mountains. Apparently, I've now met a bunch of people. I'm recovering on my religion a little bit, which is good now that I actually have population. Okay, they have great swords now. And speaking of great swords, let's talk about the next era. This is not a great era for me. 5k fame is definitely on the low side going into the next era here. Now, someone's really dominating the other continent. However, let's talk about some of the cultures that are available. Swahili, I'll get the chance to play them at some point. Now is not the time. I don't really have a lot of use for them at the moment. They're very coastal based. The Taino are new. So they're an agrarian culture. They have +5 food per number of territories in your sphere of influence on city or outpost. What I'm not sure what this means is if you get food for every territory in your sphere of influence on every city, or if you get food for every territory on sphere of influence in your city. So that's the difference between, like +15 food here or plus, however much food I'm getting from my entire empire. Aztecs could potentially actually be an interesting option here, considering I seem to have adopted a very warlike path this game. Franks, I'm going to struggle with the Franks. It would help me a little bit on the research side of things. I don't think I need it because I did steal those Babylon cities. The problem is I'm not going to generate enough influence to get my primary era stars. That'll be a big issue for me. Ghanaians, I'm not doing a lot of trading. Not the game for them, I'm afraid. Teutons could help me recover on my faith. Get the extra tenants. And they do, the Kaiserdom does count as a Maker's Quarter as well, so it does sort of play in a little bit. Teutonic Knights would be useful, but I don't have the resources for them, apparently. Khmer, I don't know. I have limited use for the Khmer, I think. There are some places where they'd be decent, and some, like in a couple of these cities, and some places where they'd not be. I've played enough of the Khmer in the past, and there are plenty of other options available, so I'll pass over them. English, I don't think I really need them. Longbows are great, but I don't think they provide me much else that I need. The Stronghold in particular, it counts as a farmer's quarter, but I already have these unit spawns everywhere with the Cyclopean fortresses, so I'm not worried about that. Mississippians. So the Mississippians were unlocked by an event that the community completed. So basically you get +3 industry, money, and food on districts that produce those yields when you build them on a river. I don't like building on rivers because you tend to lose outputs when you do that. Because like if I get, say, a water mill in here, right, then I get industry on the river as well as food. And you scale that up later in the game as well. But there aren't a lot of districts that work both industry and food. So you tend to lose a little bit of stuff by building things on the river. Now, the Sacred Mound is really interesting because it gives an industry cost reduction for adjacent districts. It gives a little bit of benefit to religious districts, and it gives +2 money on adjacent tiles. And actually, I think Mississippians could be really interesting with the Axumites, who have a legacy trait that give you +2 money on tiles that are producing money. So the Sacred Mound combines well with that. And the Cahokia Raiders are this melee unit. So basically, they get Ardor when they kill a unit. So every unit that they kill, they get a bonus to their combat strength that lasts until the end of combat. And then Mongols, I don't think we need to talk about. Not really the pick this game. So I have a pretty good selection of stuff here. And I might actually go for the Taino. They are new, so it's good incentive to play them. I'm interested to see how this Zemis warship works. Beatty, I mean, I'm going to be killing it on stability. But the other reason I'm picking them is this Byra Hunters, is this... I think they're indirect fire, right? They're not like crossbows, and they have canoe fighters, so they don't get a penalty from fighting on rivers. There's a lot of river, right? And I think having a more up-to-date unit in that respect is really going to help me. So I'm going to give a save here, and we'll go up as the Taino, so we'll get the chance to play a new culture here. We'll see how they do. And I'm going to wrap up the things I have going on. Let's see. I think we want to attack them. Okay, that's fine. Don't know why it spawns these guys on the front. Like, I clearly do not want these units on the front line. It's not in my interest whatsoever. But the archer's like right there. Cool. They can move and fire. So I want to start all these guys on the river. Going onto the river takes movement. I suppose you can leave like a... yeah, we'll put one of the archers down here and just indirect fire from there. But we want to take advantage of this top side as much as possible. All right. It's possible I can just kill all these units on this turn and they don't even get the chance to reinforce. Oops. Let's make some space available. Very nice. We'll hit the great swords. They're a much bigger threat than the horsemen. Couldn't quite kill him. I suppose we'll use that unit. Let's get off the river with him. Move up there. And capture that flag. I'll just use you as a blocker unit on these horsemen, I suppose. It's possible these units die. We'll see what they do. I don't really want to attack these great swords. They're a little too powerful for me. Alright. We'll have to deal with this as well. It's pretty annoying. There we go. Game's finally done thinking, I suppose. Oh, weird. They came all the way around here. Ah, there's crossbows up there. Okay. Move you out. Come on. Hello? Game? Why don't you want to shoot? There we go. Okay. So the flank is secure there. Go ahead and knock those horsemen out. Pikemen next, since they're pretty high combat strength. And these ones are in a position that they could get up onto the high ground on the next turn, and we don't want to be dealing with pikemen with horse archer units. Let's see. They shot already. Hit the pikes. Have them come down this way. Let's get you off the river. Same with you. Really trying to be careful to not lose units. Might lose that archer. See, should be out of range there. So I'll move him to that spot. It's fine if the crossbow survives. I just need to maintain my grip on the flag. There we go. Make sure they don't give me a weird little run around here. Try to prevent those guys from dying too. Let's see what they do. Yeah, they'll just shoot me there. It's totally fine. All right, excellent. No, do not want that. Go for fanatical. Help with my faith output a little bit. And yeah, so that'll be the end of the turn and end of the episode. So really appreciate you all tuning in for this. Going to be back in the next era with the Taino, so we'll see how that goes. See you then.